I went from like working 9 to 5 to working like 9 to 5, then pretty much 5 to 12 every day because I was filming my videos and editing them myself, doing the research, filming multiple a day. If I could post 2 a day, I would post 2. It was like my social escape, I guess, during COVID. So then switching out into it, doing it full time, it kind of like felt natural because I had such a working mentality that I was like, oh, now I have like a few hours in the day to go to the gym or do something else, because I was not going to let the YouTube channel ever fail or not post a video. And even in the worst days that I have, I will not skip a day. Like I will work and post, because the second you take a week off YouTube, you're done. The algorithm will kill you off.
How do you know that?
From watching other people, because I haven't personally experienced. Oh, actually, I did get a strike on my channel, and that was terrible. Lost like a lot in revenue, and a week of not being able to post. That's a lot of like your subscribers. You go from getting 40,000 subscribers that month to 12,000 really quickly. So it's like a week can do a lot of damage. And so yeah, I never will skip out. And I think that a lot of creators out here, they don't have that 9 to 5 mentality. So they're so lazy and they barely produce. And then they're making mostly TikToks, which are like so easy to make, no real money in it. But they're coming into the influencer space and kind of like soiling it because they're like not business. Well, they can be, but they're not like essentially running business like YouTube gives their creators the opportunity. And Facebook does too. Facebook, you can make a lot of money.
Interesting.
That's a lot. Sorry, that was a lot of.
No, I need to learn from you. I need to be hustling more. I need to do videos. You said you have a lawyer friend. I need to link with her, but I need to do videos just about cases that I find interesting and not be so focused on having perfect production. Like I love this set, but I have too much fidelity to like, oh, it needs to sound perfect. And you're right. Your transitions are not crazy. It's 12 to 18 minutes of you just like, here's a story about Britney Spears' recent filing. Like I need to be doing those kinds of things. I have that passion.
And that's something that I think like there's a few deterrents when it comes to being successful on YouTube. Like I think like one reason I am successful is because I actually genuinely liked editing before. I've always liked editing. I've always liked making videos. Like even as a kid, I always had little video cameras and made videos. So like a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could do that. But then they don't have any desire to learn the technology behind it, which technology, like you said, it is important to look great and to sound great, but that's also another deterrent too. I've had people who they like are so obsessed with how they look on camera or how the editing must be that they end up spending so long on something that never even makes it out there. I mean, I know I had terrible sound in the beginning of my videos, terrible camera quality, and now I film on my iPhone. So like I just hook it up with a webcam app, and these phones are just so great with their quality and their autofocus. So it's great, but there's people who are like obsessed with it being perfect. And even for me, I guess I just don't have that in me, because a lot of my videos too, like I like brushed my hair this morning and looked decent, but like I'll wake up out of bed, my hair is a total mess, and I'll just hop on there and film. Like I don't care what these people see, how they look at me. And I think there's like
and there's like 900,000 hits on some of those. It's funny where like there's like a fuzzing noise in the background. They're older ones, like a 44-minute video of you just talking at the camera with like a few clips that or things that slide on.
Yeah, I think that's a different mentality too. Like maybe you or other people look at a video as like, so many people are gonna see this. This is gonna be like great, or like I love this. I put so much energy into this, and you want it to be perfect. And for me, some of those videos that have like 1 million views, I did not think anyone's gonna see it. I thought maybe a few hundred would see it, or a few thousand, maybe. I guess like I've never been driven by like how many views I'm getting, because I genuinely love making the content and doing those stories that like, if it's not perfect, if it's perfect, if it's not, performing that well, it just doesn't really matter to me, because I loved doing it. And I had that love from a long time of making content. So if you don't have that, and you don't have the natural ability to speak and look into a camera, because that's a big thing too. There's like a lot of people who wish they could do this, but then if you sit them in front of a camera with no human interaction, they can't do anything.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, so there's a few things I think are key components to doing well on there. And I do get really frustrated seeing creators who like want to have it perfect, because I'm like, it doesn't have to be. You just need to post more and more, because at least how I was rewarded was posting tons a day. And initially I didn't even edit my videos. I did live streams, and I used a system called OBS, and it took me so long, but I would put in all the clips and all the pictures into OBS, and I would go live, and I would perfectly time things to go up on the screen or clips to play. And that's how I would produce 4 videos a day when I first really started. I produced like so much because then I edit it. I would just get the stories together, put it into the system, and then click it live. There were some times where I stuttered and messed up and it was terrible, but there were so many of those videos.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and they're horrible. I mean, I would click the intro to come on and stuff. Sometimes you would see me pop up for a second and then the intro would go. But they built me my channel and they kind of funded my like equipment. I mean, now I use my phone, but I did have a nice camera like these and a good setup when I lived in DC. And I afforded that because I went live, and on a live function, you can get tips on YouTube. I wish I would go live more often. I'm never going live because it's just a slippery slope. But
why?
Because you could easily mess up, and then people have like these, if they have like repeating questions, they will just keep asking them, and then other people will be like, why is he not answering them? And then they'll just keep asking them, and they just won't stop. And it's just like your whole stream is like asking personal information or questions about like a scandal that you don't want to talk about. So, but that I remember one time I got like $1,600 on a live stream I did, and that paid for everything. Actually, another YouTuber I was friends with, she's a terrible woman, whoever she is. I was so nice to her. Nobody liked her. I was so nice to her. I gave her tips. We talked about different stories. And then my friend who helped me actually learn the camera stuff, shout out to Dad's Challenge podcast. Yeah. But he helped me out back in the day, and he did not like this woman. He despised her. And he somehow found out that she had an alternative channel where she edited her voice, and she was making shit talking videos about me while she was my friend, and he unedited her voice. So then he sent me the files of him unediting it, and it was her voice. So then I just like, at that time, my boyfriend was so like, did not understand the YouTube stuff. And I was like, I had like a panic attack. So I went live and was like exposing her and like, for doing this, and that's when I got like $1,600, and it paid for all my camera setup. So, yeah, thank you to I can't remember her name. It was some like family channel thing. I really started talking about family channels when I like popped off.
Well, it sounded like you had a harder time when you were younger. Did that give you the grit to be like, F what other people say? I'm gonna do my thing and be successful.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. I mean, I think in a way too, it isolated me into my own world, and then I was able to create this world with my camera because I was posting videos in 7th grade throughout college. I've had probably like 6 or 7 different channels, and none of them really did well. I think besides my podcast channel, I had another channel had like 40K subscribers, but like really they weren't popping off. But having that like disconnect and like having this world to go into with a dysfunctional family and then bullying at home, it definitely motivated me. And then I guess early on in my YouTube career, I would like, these videos they're not online anymore, but I would like say that YouTube's not a real job. Like, I'm never going to be a full-time YouTuber. Like, why would I be doing that? Because I had no concept of the money you can make or the ability I had to like move forward. So, I mean, it did drive me, I think, in my personal life to like work out and to like do well in my government job. But I never thought that I could ever do this ever as a career. I didn't think it was a real career. I just thought it was like a fun hobby that I've had. I knew some people made money from YouTube, but I didn't know how they did it. And then once I started making more and more, I realized really quickly that it's a mix of watch time and views. Subscribers don't count. People have like 3 million subscribers and they make like 5K a month. And so that's not important. That's why like some people they're like, you should be at 1 million subscribers at this point. Like maybe, but that's also not what I'm like reaching for.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.